Is it Steve in London?
Hi, yeah, my name's Steve. I'm in England, not really London.
Oh, okay. Where in England?
In the Midwest, deepest, darkest Wiltshire.
I went to Stoke-on-Trent outside of Manchester when I was there. So.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Never mind.
I had a great time. What do you got for us?
Yeah, a bit early on you were alluding to the fact that in the Bible they talk about standing on top of the mountain and seeing that the world is round, and that's where it all comes from, and that not being proof of their insight into the actual shape of the globe. Of course, the writers at the time, the Bronze Age or early Iron Age, I suppose, were probably unaware that the ancient Greeks had already estimated the size of the globe, which they'd worked out that it was a sphere, and had actually come to the conclusion that what it was and how big it was.
That was Aristophanes. Do you have a date?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Okay, and that's why I didn't say that they were necessarily behind the Greeks, because when we're trying to date the Old Testament writings, I mean, the oldest copies we have are about 200 BC, but it could be, estimates could have been that the originals were written, 2000 BC or perhaps earlier. And, well, if you listen to a fundamentalist Christian who thinks the world's 6,000 to 10,000 years old, they could probably tell you the exact date that Isaiah was written. I can't do that. But I couldn't remember what year I think it's Aristophanes, calculated the circumference of the globe. So I didn't want to make that statement that they were lagging behind.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, we can assert, I think, though, that it's likely that when the scriptures, shall we call them, were actually committed in later forms to paper, or papyrus, or whatever,
right,
that there would have been some cognizance of what the Greeks had been up to, and maybe it was already logged in the library in Alexander by that time.
And I would think so. And the thing that I think is most telling about this, it touches on the point you made, is that I think it's clear that they didn't have any comprehension of what the Greeks were up to, because you've got one passage, just one little brief thing where the earth is referred to as a circle. And in every other area, it's referred to as flat with four corners, hoisted on pillars, fixed, immovable in space, with a firmament dome in which God sits above it and has planted the stars. And the entire concept that with the earth revolving around, or the sun revolving around the earth, that they could stop it or make it move backwards. Or everything about their cosmology was just wrong.
You know what else could be a possibility is perhaps one author knew about the idea that it was round and other authors did not.
Yeah, that's possible as well.
I mean, it's different authors. It's not the same book.
And since we have no idea who any of the authors were, and we can't ask them.
But at this stage, do we not then come to question, okay, so maybe they did, maybe they didn't. What were they trying to achieve and what they were writing? And my view is that what they were trying to achieve was a level of, shall we say, indoctrinal control by this worldly wiseness, this false worldly wiseness, that they were purporting in their writings, which actually at the time might have been very necessary. I'm not saying that it was a bad thing as such, but I do feel that it's by this time in our lives, or in the development of the human race and society, is a little out of date.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the call, Steve. Thanks for clearing that up for us. How's the weather where you are?
Not nice.
Not nice.
We do rain here.
And while I did enjoy my stay in the UK, I'm happy to be in Texas today.
Yes, indeed. I wish I were with you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Feel free to come over anytime. I appreciate the call. If you do make it to Austin, by the way, this goes for anybody, because we've had guests come down from Canada and New York for special events like our Bat Cruise or anything else. If you're going to be in the Austin area, by the way, there's chairs we can actually set up in here for people who want to stop by the studio and watch it live. You can come to any one of the ACA events. You can drop us an email. You can hit my Facebook page. There's also a Facebook page for the ACA and for the TV show. And
most of the hosts.
Yeah. And everybody else involved in the shows. Yeah. Obviously, you can also email tv@atheist-community.org. As I mentioned, we can't possibly answer all of those, but we're really trying.
We do try. We do a good job.
We do. I mean, occasionally something's going to slip through the crack, or occasionally somebody's going to write with something that I just finished answering 3 times in a row before, and I'll just kind of tuck it away. But I've come up with a couple canned responses, like the Zeitgeist response and the history.
And that got a lot of requests.
The thing is that I'm not really, I mean, Russell posted on the blog, on the Atheist Experience blog. By the way, you can go to atheistexperience.blogspot.com. That's Martin's blog, but most of the people involved in the Atheist Experience actually participate there. Russell posted it there. I'm not too happy with it because they don't actually give details. I basically just state my opinion about Zeitgeist without backing it up with stuff. Russell did a good thing when he posted it, which was to provide links to information that actually counters that as well.